Okay. Good afternoon, you guys. Um, Thank you for coming to another video on my channel where I document and do daily vlogs of my shitty life um, and my shitty mental health and my thoughts and feelings. Um, that's probably the best way to do this, I think, is instead of like having something to talk about, I should I should simply just do like check-ins or something, right? That would make much more sense. It's just like, okay, today's my check-in video and here's how I'm feeling, here's what I'm doing. That makes way better sense, I think. That makes me feel way better. The point isn't to talk about anything. The point is just to show up and make myself known. And maybe if something comes up to talk about, then I'll talk about it. I think that's the best way to do this. Because I really like making these videos, but I never know what to make the videos about. And you know what? I got tons of video ideas coming in my head all the time. I mean, I'm a very intelligent person. I might just look like some white trash dumb bitch, but I'm fairly intelligent. I took an IQ test. My IQ's like 134. I don't know if IQ means anything. But anyway, I come up with shit all the time, like actual ideas of like videos, but I usually come up with things that like I know would perform well, but they're not what I want to do, you know what I mean? Like I see tons of other YouTubers making, tons of content about social issues, trans stuff, uh, biology, politics, history, um, and but they've always got like some kind of catchy like little buzzword, like little like or not buzzword, but some kind of catchy like sort of title. Um, and I'm I usually like spend a lot of my time coming up like well, I mean, it just kind of comes to me. Like I'm always getting like ideas like, oh, that would make a good documentary. Right? That would make a good documentary. Like let's do like the time like and they're doing it now, you know what I mean? Like it's always like, some kind of weird, catchy, kind of alternative way of thinking. Like say for like a video says like um the Mayans were smarter than you think, or Hitler was more evil than you think, or something like that. You know what I mean? And I'm always coming up with shit like that, like, oh yeah, that would work. But and then I think to myself, like, but that's not me, though. I'm not the person who makes that content, so that's not something I want to actually make. I totally fucking could, though. I could write out like a bullet, and I think to myself, I could put out a bullet point list. I could do a bunch of research. I could edit it because I'm good at video editing. And then I just think to myself, like, but that's not me. Why the fuck did that come into my brain? Right? That's someone else's thing. And so sometimes I actually just, but it's weird that my brain does this sometimes where I come up with these ideas and I just think to myself, like, if I was another person, that would be a great idea, right? Like I'm always coming up with ideas all the time for things to do that might be successful. And then I think to myself, yeah, but that's not me. That would work for that person, not me. You know what I mean? And maybe sometimes I almost feel like if only I was a different person, then I could do that thing and then I would be successful, right? Like if only I was this type of person, I could then um I know exactly how to market a watch or some shit, and then if I was this type of person, I could do it. But I'm not that type of person. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make any sense and I'm just rambling. So, um Today's gonna. Sorry, I'm like rambling. I've already been rambling for 5 minutes. My God. So today is a new day. It's actually already 2 p.m. I woke up a few hours ago. Maybe I think I woke up maybe like 10 o'clock, but I exercised. The first thing that I did today was exercise. Because I haven't exercised for a few days. I've just been making YouTube videos. And when I exercise, I usually hop on my treadmill over there in the corner, and I use the treadmill for like an hour. I used to jog on the treadmill, but see, now this is something I could talk about, and it does not cause conflict. I used to jog on the treadmill. I bought that treadmill from Walmart, and they had it delivered, like a year ago. I used to jog on the treadmill, and but I stopped jogging on the treadmill because I may not look it, but I guess I'm surprisingly heavy. I mean, like, I think I'm only like 5'6" maybe, but I might be like 140 pounds right now. I think, and it always surprises people. I mean, but I am like I'm not like I'm not chunky. I'm just kind of like soft. I don't like it. Like I have a figure. I'm just like really like soft, want to lose more weight. I want to be like stick. Anyway, but I used to jog on the treadmill, and but I stopped doing it because after like a whole year of jogging on that shit, I always noticed that my knees would like have bruises. My knees would always be like bruised up. And I was trying to figure out where the fuck are these bruises coming from? And I thought I saw a bug. I always think there's a bug on my wall right there for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me. And so, and so I started to get like this weird feeling that like the fluid in my knees must be popping through my fucking bones or something. Cause it started to really hurt my knees, like just jogging. It just seemed like every time I'm jogging on that fucking treadmill, it's like dong, 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 every time I'm like fucking hitting it. And, it never injured me, but it was just like, I can't keep doing this. And especially because I used to work at a hotel. I worked at a hotel for like 3 years, and if you know my videos, then you know that. And I did maintenance mostly there. I did maintenance mostly, so I was the maintenance woman. Fucking sucked, terrible. But anyway, it was like a 3-story hotel, so it was like, and they were running me ragged there. So I used the fucking elevator quite often, but I used the fucking stairs just as often. So it was just like constant, like getting called like on the radio. It was just constantly getting called on the radio, like, Taylor, come clean up some homeless guy's poop. Taylor, the shower rod is loose. Taylor, the TV's not working. I'm right there. Okay, I'm coming. I complain a lot about my work experience there, and I have a lot of bad things to say about it because, it became very hostile and unsafe. At the latter end of that, and I didn't even really want to be there anyway, but I was a great worker there, and there was, a lot of the guests were nice to me. It just got really, really bad. Anyway, yeah, so when I first had that treadmill, I was still working there. And so when I just started to realize, holy fuck, I can't be walking for like 6, 8 hours, 10 hours, I was part-time, but, sometimes I did overtime. Up these fucking stairs at work and just coming home fucking exhausted. And then I'm using the fucking, even if I recharge, it's like just my knees, dog. Like my knees are like killing me. I can't keep using this fucking treadmill. So, what I do now is I set it to incline. I put it at like a 10% incline, and I just go at like 3 miles per hour. And I said I was on it for an hour. That's not true. That's not right. I used to jog for an hour. What I do now is basically I burn like 1,000 calories. That's my goal every time I'm on there. I burn about like 1,000 calories every time I'm on there. So that usually it's like an hour and a half. So that's how my day started. Well, it was the first thing I did. Okay, I'll say that was like the first thing that I did. I didn't really start that way, I woke up in bed and feeling tired as usual. You know, yeah, I've had a lot to think about lately, but lately I've just been tired of thinking because it's just exhausting, and there's not a whole lot to say sometimes about the things that I think, right? I mean, a lot of the things that I say and think, it's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's like my last video or whatever. It was like, what am I always upset about? Well, my situation, but, my life and my situation, but also, social society and socialization and societal context. It's like, what is anyone else supposed to fucking do about that shit? Um, it's just unbearable, and I'm surprised everyone else tolerates this shit. I mean, I had this thought. I was like I was laying in bed, um, thinking to myself, like, why am I even doing this? Why am I recording these videos? It's like, I don't like the way I look. I'm not like I don't feel super pretty. I don't feel like I have anything to show off. I don't feel like, I'd make a good, like, a fucking OnlyFans, Twitter model, Instagram model, though I tried. And it's like, so why am I doing this? Like, do I think anybody wants to see me? Do I think anybody wants to look at this and listen to this? I mean, fuck. I mean, I feel like I can be hard to stomach. Um, but then I just thought to myself, like, fuck, doesn't anyone get tired of this shit? Like, I'm supposed to hide everything? Like, I'm just really, you want me to hide it? You want me to hide my ugly? You want me to hide my fucking, my fucked up this, my fucked up that? Like, I mean, come on, man. I've been hiding my fucked up teeth for my whole life. I've been hiding so much about me my whole fucking life. I've been fucking, you know what I mean? Just the concept of angle frauding. I mean, come on, man. And I mean, if you're a guy and it's like you get haircuts all the time, you keep your hair short. Um, I've known guys like that who they're very, very careful, like, about their hair, and they like to keep it short, like, because guys care a lot about their appearance too. But it's like, you know, um, someone just rang our doorbell. I can't, I can't stop him recording a fucking video. Uh, anyway, it's like, what, we're all supposed to hide it? Like, when you're insecure about something, like, I mean, I don't know what I was getting at when I was talking about dudes just now. It's just I've noticed that dudes tend to have like a lot of like insecurity about, I don't know what I was getting at. It's just that guys really, really fucking hate, like, wait, when they're not dressed right, with their tie, and I'm sorry, there's like shit going on here. Anyway, I was just thinking to myself, like, what, we're all supposed to fucking hide this shit? Like, you're supposed to show up to an interview and like a job interview, and you're supposed to like comb your hair in a way that like frames your face, and you're supposed to like gel your hair, and you're supposed to like, you know, like looks maxing. Like everybody looks maxes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it looks best when you do this. It's like, oh, you have this, so let's hide it with that. It's like, are why are we all doing this shit? Like, why are we all just doing this shit? I mean, isn't this shit exhausting? Don't you people just get exhausted? I mean, having to give a shit and like hide anything about yourself, hide anything about yourself. Doesn't it fucking just bum you out? That's what I was thinking to myself. I was like laying in bed, just thinking like, oh, really? Like, I have a pimple. I'm supposed to hide my pimple. Like, avert your eyes if I'm that ugly. Why is everyone just so scared? Why am I so scared? But it's like we're all playing this fucking game. Why are we doing this shit? Why are we all hiding this shit? Like, why can't you just post a fucking picture of your shitty pimple? I don't get pimples. Again, I don't know what I'm even saying. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. It's like, oh, really? I'm that ugly. Avert your eyes. Is that bad? Oh, you know, she looks awful. She looks terrible. She shouldn't wear that. Oh my gosh. Oh, fuck. Come on. It's tiring. That's what I was thinking when I was in bed earlier. I think things like that. I mean, dude, you can't make people happy. Like, it's just, but it's like, people have such intense emotional responses. It's exhausting to deal with them, isn't it? I mean, I lived my whole life under constant fear of intense emotional responses from people. I mean, I told you my family was narcissistic and abusive. My stepmom treated me like shit. I keep mentioning my dad sometimes, but dude, my stepmom treated me like shit. And I think she was just jealous because I was young and pretty, and she was old, and she was old and pretty. I didn't say that. That's what she says, right? That's the thing, is that my stepmom was abusive towards me because I have the things that she doesn't have, right? I'm young, I'm pretty, I'm intelligent, and I'm polite, and I'm kind, and I'm sweet, and she doesn't have any of that shit. And the thing is that I didn't say that. I didn't say she was ugly. I didn't say she was stupid. She says that to herself. You see what I mean? Like, that's the thing, is I never said that to her, but they always treated me like shit. You know what I mean? They were always threatening me. And I just live like that. And it's like, dude, I'm tired of living around people's intense emotional responses. Okay, like, can everyone just like handle their own emotions? I mean, shit. You know, I understand everyone's got their own sensitivities and shit, but it's like, can we not just all just. It's exhausting, man. Anyway, You know what else is like? Why is everyone so mean? That's my question. Why is everybody so mean? What's with the meanness? Come on. Okay, I mean, just fuck. Come on, like, why is everybody gotta be so mean? It's, I've been bullied my whole life, and it still hasn't stopped. Yeah, it's good to see that some things never change. I mean, it's like I was bullied for wearing glasses when I'm little, and now I'm bullied for, you know, and if it's not that, it's my fucking face, it's my voice. It's like, when's it gonna stop, man? Come on. I used to think that, like, oh, as soon as I'm out of high school, like high school, the bullying kind of got a little bit easier. But I used to think, like, as soon as I'm out of high school and I'm an adult, we're all gonna be fucking adults. That was clearly not true. It just, everything that goes on in high school apparently carries into adulthood. And I've just been battling with people and their shitty egos my entire fucking life. You know? Anyway, wish I could tell you more about what I'm going through, but I can't. I can't because I'm not safe. So, I don't have my own housing. I'm living sort of undercover in a way. Can't tell you what I really think or what I really feel because it's always gonna piss someone off. Try not to let it bother me, but it does bother me. Maybe I'll read to you some stuff that I wrote in my journals. So this is something I wrote in my journal. Yeah, I wrote, "My heart is hurt, my soul is sore, my flesh fatigued." That's what I wrote. I also wrote, "Everyone has betrayed me. I am abandoned. I am left." Um, Basically, I don't have, I'll try to be as discreet as possible. Um, I've been in this very, very bad place for the past decade. Basically, when I was 21, I was very, very, very happy. Well, no, but I was very high energy. And, I was very satisfied, I think, with myself. And, but obviously, I had my whole life ahead of me, and I wanted to make sure that I could start my life out on the right foot because I was still 21. I wasn't 18. I had a lot that had already fucked me up. You know what I mean? My parents treated me like shit growing up, and, I was very held back by a lot of things. I was very isolated and whatever. It was held back by a lot of things. And, my PTSD probably started all the way back then. But at 21, I just thought, okay, I got to do the things I need to do to make sure that I set myself up for a good life. And so I, when I made the worst awful mistake. I was still living at my parents. Okay. Um, and things were okay. But I decided I wanted to go into the army and stuff. Because I wanted to be a machinist and I wanted to come out and I wanted to be an engineer. I thought that would be a good thing for me to do. To be like a world famous engineer, you know, invent stuff like Elon Musk. I wanted to be like Elon Musk, but he beat me to it. There's shit coming out right now that they beat me to it. I already had those ideas. Whatever. No one's ever gonna know that, but that's alright. Anyway. And I can't tell you the whole story again because there are details that I cannot verbally discuss because I'm in a very uncomfortable situation. But basically what happened was what happened? Let me remember. I Well, I was talking to this guy at the time. I was dating a guy. All trauma begins with a guy. Okay. I was talking to this guy at the time, and he wasn't really treating me really well. But I was really alone and desperate because I had nobody. Even back then, I had nobody. I had obviously I was living with my parents, so they gave me a place to live. But they were not emotionally supportive by any capacity. Because they were abusive, right? So, um, he wasn't really treating me really well. He was treating me really poorly. Um, and I was just talking to him, right? We weren't really together. Um, I, I can't even begin. I'm sorry. I got attacked. Um, I got attacked in my small town. Like a bunch of kids at the park. Um, I was betrayed. Um, Basically, they stalked me. I I kissed a guy that I guess I shouldn't have kissed. Um, and then he attacked me. They stalked me. He kissed me consensually, but they lied that I made up some shit, that I forced myself on him, and didn't even make any sense. And then um, and then you know, uh, I was just sort of left there alone. I was abandoned, and it really shook me. I was terrified. I ran. Um, I had no one. I called someone. They didn't care. They sat there eating potato chips on the phone. Um, I was too scared to call the cops for some reason. I had never done that before in my life. I'd never done that before in my life. I don't know. Um, but I did. And then I filed a police report. And, I had to wait a really, really long time. But eventually I filed a police report with the police officer. I explained to him the situation. There was evidence, there was physical evidence on me that I had been hurt. Not very badly. I was just kind of shoved to the ground, but it was terrifying. They would have done much worse if I had not have timed it properly and evaded properly. It took a lot out of me to get away. But they were there. They were there to really, really hurt me. And I explained everything to the officer, and he told me that, look, it's going to be months before we can get you a court date, so here's what we can do, because I was going in the military at the time. And he said, well, here's what we can do. Okay, um, we can file a police report, and okay, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that, you guys. I got interrupted. But everything's fine now. I guess I'm glad I did get interrupted because, I don't have to tell a story if I don't want to. If I don't want to talk about something, I guess I don't need to. But I feel like I always have to, I guess, because people want to hear honesty or something. Anyway, um, well, let me just keep telling the story. So much shit happened, and it's anyway, I ended up not being able to go into the military, and I ended up not getting justice either. And, um, okay, you guys, I'm done telling the story. Because I just got interrupted like 5 fucking times. I'm exhausted now. Okay? I'm sorry. Let's just talk about something else. Let's talk about something else, I guess. I really want to tell my story, but I just wish I could move somewhere else. It doesn't matter, I guess. It's alright. Let's find something else to talk about. Okay. Something else about how my day's going. Um, I received quite a few donations recently on my GoFundMe, which helps me a lot. Um, I don't really know how the withdrawal thing works. I haven't really withdrawn them or anything. I don't really think I want to withdraw them until it hits a goal, you know. I don't think it's going to hit a goal, but I like just looking at it. You know what I mean? Um, you know, that's really cool. You know what I mean? Like I felt really happy when someone donated to my GoFundMe for the first time. And then someone gave me a big donation actually, just the other day. I don't want to say I don't want to say anything, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to take them to take it away. Um, so what else? What else is going on with me? I just got interrupted again. That's fine. Um, more interruptions, and this is just making me sad now. Let's try to keep it positive, I guess. Damn, I hate my fucking life. Okay. Um, so when I started doing today's video, I was in a very much better mood, and then a few things happened that sort of spiraled my mood down really, really bad. Um, I'm really sorry for that. Um, now is a new video. Okay, now is a completely new video. Um, right now, I'm feeling very depressed. There's a lot of things that are bothering me, but I'm not able to talk about them. So let's just try to um, talk about something else then. Um, sometimes maybe this is a PTSD thing, I don't know, but sometimes it just everything feels so loud. I really hate it. Everything just feels so loud and really scary. So everything was less loud. And no one's necessarily doing anything. It's just everything bothers me. The just when my neighbors like stomp, not doing anything wrong. I don't know why it just sounds so loud. I'm sorry, guys. I was in a good mood just an hour ago. Now, on one hand, I do live in a dangerous area, but I live in a very unfriendly neighborhood and an unfriendly environment and everything. I have, it's very unfriendly. Um, but it's really hard because I also have PTSD. So sometimes it's fucking hard to like, know, like, I like that. Oh, that's just my trauma. And then like, oh no, that's someone fucking with me. You know what I mean? Obviously, no one's fucking with me. Um, but I really wish that they wouldn't be so noisy. You know what I mean? But then people often also fuck with me. So anyway, I'm sorry. Um, I'm jumbled now. I don't know why I'm just all mixed up. Maybe I shouldn't record a video today. Maybe I need to just go lay down or something. Maybe that's all I need is to just go lay down. I don't know. My brain. Um, um, maybe I can read more from my journal. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's just read more from my journal. Maybe that would be a good good thing to do. I couldn't find anything. Um, um, okay. So, don't know. I don't know. I have something to talk about and I don't fucking know. I'm really sorry. Uh, uh, okay. Let's just start off by continuing to talk about how my day has been going. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I was talking about the fucking incline on my treadmill. Um, and I can't. I can't believe this. I can't even. Fuck. I'm, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go lay down, I guess. I'm sorry. That's what a travesty. I had so much to say. Now okay, guess bye, you guys.